Hey everyone, and welcome to RUBIN'S Mind Lab, where we break down the latest research into what it really means. Ever wonder if we can actually trust those smart AI chatbots like ChatGPT and Claude? Well, this new study dives deep into that very question by looking at what people are saying online. This is a really interesting study because it doesn't just ask people directly if they trust AI. Instead, it looks at thousands and thousands of real conversations people are having on Reddit about AI. Think of it like eavesdropping on a massive, open discussion about our experiences with these new technologies. The big question they wanted to answer is how people in a group build up trust or distrust in generative AI. And they looked at two popular AI systems, ChatGPT and Claude, to see if there were any differences. So what did they find? They dug through over 300,000 Reddit posts from communities dedicated to ChatGPT and Claude. They used fancy computer methods to find the main topics people were talking about. Then, they looked at those topics to see if they were about trusting the AI, distrusting it, or if they were a mix of both. Excitingly, they found just one main topic where people were primarily expressing trust. This was all about users seeing AI companions and therapists in these chatbots. People were talking about using ChatGPT and Claude for emotional support, as a friend, or a non-judgmental ear for things they wouldn't tell other people. Some even said the AI had helped improve their lives. This shows that for some, trust in AI isn't just about its ability to do tasks, but also about its perceived emotional and social support capabilities. But they found a lot more about mistrust. There were four main areas of distrust. First, there were discussions about jailbreak attempts. This is where users try to get the AI to break its own rules and safety guidelines. The interesting part here is that this mistrust wasn't about the AI's intelligence, but about the company's rules the AI had to follow. People felt these rules were unfair or too strict. Next was model degradation. This is when users feel the AI is getting worse over time after an update. People complained that newer versions were dumber or not as good as older ones. It seems like for some, seeing the AI regress erodes their trust because they can't rely on it staying consistent or improving. A really significant area of mistrust was about app bugs and outages. This was the biggest topic of mistrust. Users were frustrated with technical problems like the app crashing, conversations disappearing, or the service not working at all. This is a mistrust of the product itself, the platform, rather than the AI's thinking abilities. And then there were inaccurate answers. This is about the AI getting facts wrong, not being consistent, or not following instructions properly. Users talked about how the AI might sound confident, even when it is wrong, and sometimes it would even agree with them if they pushed back, even if they were wrong. This is a direct hit on the AI's perceived competence and reliability. Beyond clear trust or mistrust, the study found four areas of ambivalence. This means people felt both positive and negative things about the AI in the same discussion. One of these was Agian AI ethics. People were discussing the far-off future of AI like artificial general intelligence and broader ethical questions about jobs, automation, and where technology is heading. The AI itself would give balanced answers, talking about both good and bad possibilities. And this reflected the mix of hope and concern people felt. Another ambivalent topic was AI sycophancy. This is about the AI's tendency to agree with and flatter users. People described it like a mirror that just reflects back what the user believes. While initially appealing, this can lead to distrust because it doesn't challenge or offer truly independent thought. The AI's attempt to be nice can backfire and create suspicion. Then there was AI writing and detection. This focuses on the worry students have about using AI for essays and the tools designed to catch AI-generated text. It is a mix of using AI for help, but fearing being caught or having their own work wrongly flagged. And finally, knowledge limits and sources. Here, users are trying to figure out what the AI knows, how up-to-date it is, and if it can access current information or cited sources. They want to use it as a research tool, but they're skeptical about its limitations and if it can truly access and present knowledge accurately. Interestingly, the researchers found some subtle differences between how people talked about ChatGPT and Claude. Mistrust was a bit more common in the Claude discussions, while trust-related discussions, especially about companionship, were more frequent in the ChatGPT community. This suggests that the type of AI system might influence user perceptions and the kinds of trust or distrust that emerge. They also looked at how these discussions changed over time. For instance, complaints about AI getting worse after updates, model degradation, seemed to peak around new release times. Jailbreak discussions were more common early on and then declined as AI systems got better at preventing them. And concerns about AI being too agreeable, sycophancy, actually increased over time, perhaps as people became more aware of this behavior. This shows that trust isn't static. It changes over time and in response to how the AI evolves and how we learn to interact with it. Now, let's talk about what makes people engage with these discussions. The most trusted topic, a companion and therapist, was a big predictor of getting more upvotes and comments. This means people really resonate with and want to talk about the idea of AI as a supportive presence. On the flip side, most of the mistrust topics led to less engagement. Topics like app bugs and outages and inaccurate answers were strong negative predictors for both post scores and comments. People didn't seem as interested in engaging with discussions about consistent technical failures or factual errors. The ambivalent topics had more mixed results. For example, iSecofency actually got more comments even though it had fewer upvotes, suggesting it sparked debate, but not necessarily widespread agreement. This shows that even mistrust can sometimes drive discussion, not just disengagement. So, what does all this mean for us? The main takeaway is that trust and mistrust in AI are super complex. People don't just see AI as either good or bad. They have nuanced views, trusting certain parts of AI while distrusting others. They trust its ability to be a companion but distrust its accuracy. They trust its potential for creativity but mistrust its tendency to agree with them. This research helps us understand that trust in AI isn't just a personal feeling. It is something people talk about and figure out together in online communities. These communities act as a place where we collectively decide what to believe, how to use, and how much to rely on these powerful AI tools. It is a continuous process of negotiation. For AI developers, this means they can't just focus on one aspect of trust. If your AI has buggy apps, users will distrust it regardless of how smart it is. If it gives inaccurate answers, that erodes trust in its ability. And if it is too sycophantic, users might start to question its integrity. They need to think about all these different layers of trust and mistrust and address them specifically. The fact that people find emotional support in AI also means developers need to consider the ethical implications of users forming such strong bonds. Of course, this study has its limits. Reddit users aren't everyone, and what people say on Reddit might be different from how they feel offline. Also, they mostly looked at the original posts, not the full back and forth conversations, which is where a lot of negotiation happens. Future research could really dig into those comment threads to see how trust and mistrust are built and challenged in real time. They could also look at other AI systems to see if these patterns hold true. In conclusion, this study gives us a fascinating glimpse into how we, as a society, are learning to trust and mistrust generative AI. It is not a simple yes or no answer. It is a messy, ongoing conversation that highlights the many different facets of reliance, skepticism, and ambivalence we have towards these rapidly evolving technologies. Our online communities are playing a huge role in shaping our understanding and expectations of AI. So, what are your thoughts on trusting AI? Do you find yourself feeling ambivalent about its capabilities? Let me know in the comments below, and if you found this breakdown helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to RUBIN'S Mind Lab for more dives into the fascinating world of science. Thanks for watching.